Please be seated. Thank you very much. Margaret, Rachel, County First Ladies, friends who have gathered here this afternoon. First, let me begin by wishing everybody Happy International Women's Day. And to say that personally today I'm also very excited because I've just come from a passing out parade of the prisons, and for the first time in our history, our discipline services have actually, the first one was the prisons today, who have managed, if not quite 30%, they did do 28% of their recruitment being women. So I believe we're moving and heading in the right direction. Today is really not my day. I am here to show solidarity with Margaret and the program that she has invested a lot of her time and effort in, which is 150% in line with our own agenda as an administration. For the last 5 years, she has been very supportive of our health agenda. And now, as we move into the second term, or the second administration, we want to put more effort to ensure that this time we are actually able to achieve affordable, universal health care for our people. And this is not just important because we want a healthy nation. But if we can afford and if we can achieve, and I believe we can achieve universal health care, this goes a long way towards ensuring we also eliminate poverty in this country, given the cost to individual families of sickness and illness in our country. A lot of families are turned into paupers because a son, a daughter, a mother, a father have fallen ill. And many for things that are actually preventable. So our ability to be able to pool our resources, our efforts together to ensure that we achieve a healthy nation, we're also embarking on a process of ensuring we have a prosperous nation as well. And this cannot be done by government alone, or the national government on its own. And that's why we as a national government have already started an engagement with the county governments, an engagement that seeks partnership, an engagement that realizes that we're not in competition with one another, but rather we must complement one another, given that we live in a world of limited resources. And we have agreed, both the national and county governments, that we are going to harmonize our programs and our plans, working together with our development partners to ensure that we get maximum benefit for our people in our drive towards achieving our objective. And that is why when we support causes like Beyond Zero, this in itself is a partnership between government and non-governmental organizations. A realization that by partnering we have a win-win for everybody. So therefore I call upon each and every one of you here present to do that which you can to support this initiative, to support the strategic plan, just as we in government and in county governments will do our level best to ensure that it succeeds. Because as I said, if it succeeds and if all these programs succeed, it is Kenya that succeeds. A healthy nation, as I said, is a prosperous nation. As Margaret Kobia now, not my Margaret, has also said, those who bear the biggest burden of these problems are women. And therefore it is right and appropriate that women should be at the center stage of this drive and this initiative. Because as they say, and I truly believe, if you prosper a man, you prosper an individual. But if a woman prospers, a family prospers, and by extension, a nation prospers. So therefore, today, I'm here really in just a supportive role. We are here, Margaret, to give you our commitment and our support, to appeal to everybody to support this particular initiative as a great initiative that has already seen and recorded great successes, and also to take this opportunity, which is not normal, but to introduce to you a lady I have known for most of my life. I met her for the first time swimming with my father, and my father told me, "This one looks good." And lo and behold, some 20 years later, it came to pass. A lady I've known most of my life, who has been my friend, my companion, steadfast supporter, a lady who is humble, quiet, but as I and my children can attest, also firm, and when required, very kali. So I have to be very, very, very careful. So ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Margaret Kenyatta, our patron for Beyond Zero. Karibu, Margaret.
Thank you so much. Kindly be seated. Your Excellency, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to see so many friends and partners, my companions, on the Beyond Zero journey. Today, we join the world in celebrating women, and I will start by wishing you all a very happy International Women's Day. We gather not just to celebrate the day, but also to celebrate the work you are doing in your own way to change lives. You choose service over indifference. You choose hope over despair. You inspire me. Usually on this date, we have held the First Lady's half marathon, and I hope that you will support me to host yet another one in 2019. This afternoon, we're here to launch the second strategic framework whose roots reach back to 2013. We believed then, as we do now, that one of Kenya's most significant challenges was that of maternal and child death. We believed we could change that. We believed we could save lives. But problems remain. For all the work we have done together, there are still women and children who lack the care they need to live healthy, fulfilling lives. We need to change that. We must learn from our experience through the data and through listening to our partners so that we can hasten the day when no Kenyan woman or child goes without the care they need. These children are the future of Kenya. Through the journey, it became obvious fairly quickly that we could not hope to do this on our own. We would need the commitment, the resources, the knowledge of a whole host of people, and not just for a day or two. It was equally clear that we would need an innovative and practical platform to spur action for our most basic aim, that no woman should die while giving life. It turned out that mobile clinics would be the immediate tool of engagement at grassroots level, and that the marathons would be my way to raise funds and raise awareness of the problem. What began as a small idea outgrew our expectations. I know that no single factor determines how lives are improved, and that we must all work together in areas of health, education, agriculture, infrastructure, safety, security, financial inclusion, economic empowerment, sports and well-being, and of course, the preservation of the environment which we live is paramount. That said, I know that we are moving forward as a country. I have seen all that we have achieved these last 4 years, and for that, we owe a debt of gratitude to millions of Kenyans who backed us from the moment we wrote our first strategic framework. My sincere gratitude goes to the Ministry of Health, whose support has been phenomenal, to our local and national health agencies, whose expertise has been so diligently deployed, to the county governments, who are the key drivers of the program, to the private sector, whose generosity has humbled us, to the media, who spurred action at different levels, and to our international and regional partners, from whom we have learned so much. The partnerships we have built together, both at home and abroad, remain one of the great joys of this journey. His Excellency, the President, is one partner who deserves a special mention for his unfailing and unwavering support. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 years on, we are far more confident. We have learned much. We have achieved much. We know how much more we must do because there are challenges that continue to check our progress. We know that each shilling of investment in health goes further if we approach the whole person. That means we must pay attention not just to the immediate problem, but also to the dignity and well-being of those whose lives we hope to change. This new framework adopts a life cycle approach, addressing challenges at different stages of life as Kenyans move from childhood, adolescence, into adulthood and old age. We have had time to think through the broader frameworks under which we work and the partnerships that make that work possible. This is why this new framework is decisively shaped by the lessons its predecessor taught. It is integrated with the Sustainable Development Goals, with Vision 2030 and the government's commitment under the Big Four to provide universal health care by 2022. These goals have never been more important, and we have never been closer to achieving them than we are now. This is the time to push and push hard. I look forward to consolidating my contribution to support solutions that address the social issues of our nation, initially by revamping existing health centers, and in time by putting up a special mother and child beyond zero hospital. Join me. Let us rededicate our energies and our collective resolve to build a healthier and better future for Kenyans. With those few remarks, I now declare the Beyond Zero Strategic Framework 2018-2022 officially launched. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. At this point, Your Excellency, remain on the stage as I invite His Excellency, the President, to join you. Yes? As I invite the Cabinet Secretaries kindly, and Mama Rachel to please on stage so that you can accompany Her Excellency as she conducts the launch of the strategic framework for the year 2018 up to 2022. And now, Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic, cuts the ribbon to launch. A round of applause. Let us give it a round of applause again. And now, Her Excellency, the First Lady will be presented with a copy of the books on strategic framework, also on the screen. May you turn on the screens whereby you can watch a video. There's something running on the screen. Chair Angelina Sparrow. There's something on the screen to watch for only a few seconds. And there it has been launched. Now, Her Excellency, the First Lady is receiving the books from the Chair of National AIDS Control Council and also the coordinator of the Beyond Zero, which she will present to the following. First, to the Cabinet Secretaries. Let us give a round of applause. And then I'll now request Her Excellency, the First Lady, and the Cabinet Secretary. Again, you continue, Angelina. Who else has not received? Now we all stand for a photo session the way we are. Your Excellency, the President and the First Lady and the Cabinet Secretaries, two of you to come on this side so that we can have a group photo on stage. One person to come on this side, kindly. For a group photo, they are showing it to us that it has been launched. A round of applause. Thank you. I will request now His Excellency the President and the Cabinet Secretaries kindly, if you take your seats. Her Excellency